Welcome to Adam, Josh, Oral, Brog, number 21. Today, we're going to talk about the Brog Watch the Dominoes, and I haven't printed it out, so I will do that right now. The song that I have right now playing is a demo preview of what we did in Texas. There's a vocal track and all that as well, but it's not, you're not listening to that one. The song is Real Friends. And this is AJOB number 21. So, sounds pretty good with the piano in there, I think. Oh, it's Roll Up the Rim time again. I just want a chance to play again. Look at that. Please play again. Roll Up the Rim time. I haven't had a coffee from Tim Hortons. It's my first one in 4 or 5 days. I've been on a sort of fast, like a fruit, basically a fruit fast. I wasn't eating, and when I did eat, I would just eat fruit. I wasn't drinking too much fluids. When I did, I would drink water, cranberry juice for the last 5 days, which is a far stretch from my usual diet of eating out every single day. I eat healthy, but I eat out a lot. Like, I go out and get rice and salad and falafel, but that's healthy. I'm still eating out a lot. So, just trying to feel better, feel stronger. You know, you're stuck in this body for... It seems that for the last 30 years I've been stuck in this body, so I'm going to try to make the best of it for the next 30 years, you know, so kind of keep this thing healthy. It's taken forever to print. I haven't used this camera in a while, so as you can probably tell, the settings seem off. So I'm trying to fix right now. Song is Real Friends. I think I mentioned that already. Grainy. Why is it like that? Saturation? Default. Maybe a little bit brighter. I can deal with that. Color boost. I don't know, I'm not really that tan. That's about right. Alright, here we go. Okay, the lyrics are for this song. It's not real, it's not real. It's not real, it's not real. It's good, you know, it's a good tune. I'm biased because I wrote it, but anyway. Where were we? Al Jazeera is now focusing on Libya, just like they did Egypt. Gaddafi is now Mubarak. We've never been at war with East Asia. We've always been at war with East Asia. And then I link to George Orwell's 1984. It's a reference from that book. It'd be hard to explain unless you just check it out for yourself. So if you haven't read 1984, it won't take you too long if you read it. So someone's knocking down countries one after the other, just like dominoes. And then I link to Alex Jones's movie Endgame. Today is 23rd, 02/2011, and watch the dominoes. Like dominoes. And get this, HARP, Alaska was on from the 10th to the 14th steady. Check this, and then I link to HARP's meter in Alaska. You can go and click on the link and check out that HARP was on and active before these recent, for like 5 days before these recent earthquakes in New Zealand. And I mean, hearing that, you might be like, "Oh, Adam, you know, people are you're causing earthquakes." Like, no, like weather weapons were talked about, and there's been treaties signed back in like 60s and 70s, or 50s rather, 50s, 60s, 50s or 60s. You can look this up for yourself, but I'm not exaggerating. That they had treaties between countries that they wouldn't use weather weapons on each other. Like, obviously, there's people who just aren't listening to those treaties. Because weather weapons, like Tesla, developed that technology, and it's open technology that you can, you know, that experiment that you might have seen on YouTube even, or it's a famous video where that bridge is swinging back and forth, or Tesla makes a building teeter like that back and forth, and people had to get out of it because he was using harmonic resonance generators powered up so much that they would match the frequency of the building, and then he would amp up the volume just like a glass. Like when those girls shatter the glass, they're matching the note that you would create from the top, going ooh, and then you amp up the volume, ooh, really loud, until it starts vibrating and breaks it. And that's what Tesla had invented on a commercial application, you know. And anyway, long story short, weather weapons are real, and they can cause earthquakes, and blah 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 blah. You can check for yourself. HARP was on. Also see technology, where are we really? That's a link to another thing that I did. Oh, what I was going to say was Hugo Chavez. You can go on he was on RT and talked about he was blaming the West for using their HARP weather weapons against him and Haiti. Actually using against Haiti. He was blaming the Haiti earthquakes on HARP, which a lot of people have come to the same conclusions. You can look all that up for yourself too. Then guess what happened? A series of earthquakes in New Zealand, the greatest being 6.3, and I link to a geo site that talks about that. Dominoes, one after the other. I'm trying to keep my mind in the big picture, but these dominoes are countries collapsing, order out of chaos, right? And then I show a video, what is it, a perfect circle counting bodies like sheep to the rhythm of the war drum, which is a good song. And then a link from Albert Pike about the Third World War, and you can read all that yourself. Oh, cool, look at that. I didn't even realize that. When I print out my blogs, it goes copyright 2011 Adam Josh. I did not know that. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agentur of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the State of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, economic exhaustion. Like a lot of countries, like America is right now. moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. Sound familiar? We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists. We shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effects of absolute atheism, origin of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries were exterminate those destroyers of civilizations, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Albert Pike, and he wrote that, as far as I know, in the late 1800s or early 1900s. So how could he have known all that thing? Because, you know, he was writing down a plan, and then the plan's been followed by social Darwinist Jew elites who don't see borders and don't see countries and probably live on islands in the middle of all these countries, you know, in the middle of the Atlantic, and, you know, wear nationalism like they would wear a jacket, whatever suits them. All these things you could look into for yourself. That's my blog. You know, I could go into detail, of course, about everything here, and I may sound crazy, but all this stuff is, everything that I've written here is, it's not really my opinion, it's just commenting on documented things that are already happening, and I'm just kind of connecting dots and putting it all together. And, that's the way it is. So we'll go out on Real Friends, piano and guitar again. Thank you for watching the Adam Josh Oral Blog number 21. Make sure to tell your friends to get a job.